when you got a nice Johnson like this one, made by Johnson, you got a 2.0, 2.2, 2.4. So I realized after yesterday when we were up in that loft in this tiny house, the loft is extremely small. So I could barely fit my head in on one side of it. And so I'm gonna have to paint that ceiling today. Otherwise, I don't know how I'd get the sprayer up there. So I'm not gonna be able to give some play-by-play bullshit while I'm spraying up there. So I figured I'd just tell you a few things about the sprayer. And if sprayers aren't what you're interested in, skip ahead. And you can see about the pocket door that we're gonna install too today. But if you are interested in sprayers, I'll just give you some of my quick tips. So, see the butterfly? If the butterflies are open this way, the fan is going this way. If the butterflies are this way, the fan is coming at you, flat. So it's, the fan comes out, the fan of paint, meaning the cone of paint, comes out the opposite of these. So it comes this way, comes this way. Anyway, that's just directional crap. Then you're gonna wanna keep the tip square with the wall. So it's gotta be square with the wall. Don't do this. Don't be whipping the thing around. Keep it nice and square with the wall. And then the other thing too is you wanna, when you're hitting the trigger, trigger's on in motion, trigger's off in motion. So you're gonna, none of this like, you see what I'm saying? None of this like, and then the paint starts running and all that crap. No, trigger on in motion, trigger off in motion, and keep the gun straight. If you can do those two things, all the rest of how to work this machine is in the manual and pretty simple. The hardest things to master is that trigger on in motion, trigger off in motion, and keep it square. Man, I'm not feeling, I hope this clears my sinuses up. That's all I gotta say. I gotta get this shit over with so that we can get to the pocket door. Ugh. Yeah. Also, wear a mask when you do this. Don't be a hero. I'm gonna go wash my face. Take a moment, a little powwow. That was miserable. I should have sprayed that way before the loft ever went in because it was like a joist was here and it was like, and then I'd have to stop. And so I'm going this way when I should have been going this way. And I'm gonna have to sand the shit out of that. Ugh. Anyway, let's get set up for a pocket door. I will say I really do like the smell of fresh paint in the morning. For all you young lads out there, that was an Apocalypse Now reference. So I try to open this box so it just kind of folds open. I like using pocket doors, especially in a tiny house. I think they save a lot of space. And this one in particular, I like because it has a couple of features that I really appreciate. You know when you appreciate something? This is something I appreciate. These nice steel stud tracks. You see that? Ooh, that's nice. No wood, so it's just really easy to set those up. A couple of things you're not going to want to lose are going to be all of this fancy jazz. You can keep all these hardware packets in one place, especially this one. This right here is your hardware to attach your door. Definitely don't want to lose that. Okay, got your instructions here. Come on. This is gonna be a boring video. Come on. Why do they stuff the instructions in here? It's beyond me. It's so stupid. Okay. What do you got? Like multiple languages or some shit? What is this? This is a pocket door frame. And this is the soft close. All right, so on cheap pocket doors, they typically, you buy it for whatever size you're working with. When you got a nice Johnson like this one, made by Johnson, you got a 2.0, 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, 2.8, 2.10. And so you get all the different sizes all the way up to 2 foot 10 inches. So if you don't know what that is, that's 2 foot 0 inches, 2 foot 2 inches, 2 foot 4 inches, 2 foot 6 inches, 2 foot 8 inches, and 2 foot 10 inches. Let's figure out what we got. This pocket door is gonna tuck behind here. So, oh yeah, way too long. So how do we figure this out? Better look at the print for that one. You see how organized I am. Nope, 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 nope. Definitely not that box. Looking for a floor plan. Yeah, 2.6 it is, see? Right there. And I got, all right, a few things. One, see this bracket right here? I gotta take that off. Now, typically, I would use drills and stuff, but with the soft pine and these factory drilled screws, just take them off by hand because you'll probably strip them. So, see this section of wood right here? I gotta mimic that in a minute. But first I gotta slide this track down, this section of the track. We'll slide that out of the way. After we slide the track down, you take your 2.6, we determined the door's gonna be 2.6. So you see this perforated line? This is why it's so important to have a bandsaw. We only wanna cut the one piece of wood. Oh yeah. Now, we gotta cut the back side. You see? See how it's got this mark right here? 2.6, back side. Let's cut that next. Okay. Take our screw out. However, before we go any freaking farther, we gotta check where this track bracket's gonna go. So I went ahead and cut our wood back, and then we had to notch this track so that our piece. But I left this loose because when I set this up inside here, you want a little bit of play so that you can get this thing mounted really nice. So what I'll do here is I'll just put one screw in the middle of this slotted area so that I can move that back and forth to level it. I'll also put a level, I forgot to tell you, I put this clamp here and that holds the track up there while you're working. And then I do the same thing on this side. So now we're gonna just level it out. It's too bad these tracks are aluminum because I got this magnetic 4-footer, but okay, so I need to come down in the front. That's why I like just using screws. The manual actually says to use nails. Makes no sense to me, but. And then I'll just take one hand on the level. Perfect. You want to make sure that this is level. As level as you possibly can. In the track itself, you have more adjustments, so when the door's actually in place, you can get that fine-tuned. But what saves a ton of time on trim out is to make sure that this track is like, just, you know what I mean, just perfect. Now, here's that slow close I was talking about. This is why I like that slow close so much. Boom, done. So even if the unit is a little out of level, that door's never gonna come ghosting out into the room. But that's not why we do it. But we do it so that we don't have to slam in pocket doors. So after we got our header all level and whatnot, it's time to put the wall studs in. So these are nice because it's all steel, which means I get to use my level. And then, you see this? I don't know if you can see this. So, this is the bottom cleat, this plate, and then these go right into the channel, and then that's it. That's it. No funny business. No screws required. You want to make sure that the notch bobber is on the top because that's what you're going to send your screw through. But you see how the screw, I don't know if you can see that, but the screw is, the hole is a little bit below the wood because we had to level it out. So I'll show you how to fix that in a second. So we have to pin the bottom first. In order to do that, we gotta do some measurements. I gotta measure the top, which is 2.6, we know this. So now on the bottom, we're gonna make a line on the floor. After I secure the bottom, then that's when I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna slide these up a little bit. I'm gonna do the other side. Because we measured everything and we squared it all off, this should just be perfect. Oh yeah. And then there's another set that are gonna go in, and that one's really simple. So all we're gonna do on that one, 16 ends up like right here, and then that'll work good. The tricky thing that I'm seeing here though is, you see, take a look at this. So this is really hard to see. Let's try it on the other side. This is going to take some maneuvering here. So you see, we got a problem here. We got to put some backing in. The steel, you know, and the coordination here. There needs to be something right here. So these steel bars are not 3/4. That would have been a fail. I need to find some 5/8 material. Where the fuck, what the hell? Because I gotta get backing on both of these sides. Or it's just not gonna work. Be right back. Yeah, so I'm glad I caught this. And maybe you can't even see it, but. All right, maybe we can see this now. So we got our door opening, which is here, and then we have a corner. See? We have the corner that comes in here. I needed to install backing there for both sides so that it'll create that nice corner. All right, that is how we do it. The rest of this stuff you're gonna want to put in a safe spot. Here's what I like to do. I like to stuff the stuff right there. That's it. Nobody's gonna mess with it. Sometimes you can tuck it up high. Sometimes if you tuck it up high, gravity will pull it down, fall out. But if it's there, nothing's gonna happen. So here's our door. Couple other things you're gonna want to keep in mind. Make sure that this guy right here is out from behind there. So you're gonna put both of these in the middle because you don't want to be trying to reach your hand in there to try to grab it. Oh, one more thing that people forget. there's a little rubber bumper that's got to be attached right here before this drywall occurs. But other than that, we got a nice solid door. I got one screw to tighten up right here. Hopefully you've enjoyed hanging out today. I've enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow.